let's talk about The Rip. Film is on Netflix. It stars Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, directed by Joe Carnahan, who's done some tremendous work in the past. Um, I, I think the story's pretty basic, but why don't you tell it to me?
So basic, you could have told it in
Sure.
the time it took me to research it. But anyways, so the story is about the Miami Tactical Narcotics Team, led by Lieutenant Dane, played by Matt Damon, and Sergeant J.D. Byrne. Recently, their leader, Captain Jackie Velez, was murdered, and still unsolved. They don't know who did it. So Lieutenant Dane gets word that there is a house that has a lot of money in it. And that there was a tip that came in, and that his team should check it out. That team includes Ro, played by Stephen Yeun, Detective Numa, played by Tiana Taylor, and then they go to this house, and Sasha Cali is there. They go in and they find out that it's not $150,000 like they thought. There's $20 million in this house. And once they realize how much money is in there, all hell breaks loose. Someone calls and says, "You better just take your 150, get out of there, or we're gonna come and kill everybody." And they stay just a bit too long, and let's just say the fireworks go off.
And I'll say this, it is pretty by the numbers, and you think there's going to be the biggest disappointment with The Rip. It's very well made, but the biggest disappointment is you think there's going to be a big twist, and there really isn't. It's kind of like, oh, that was it. That's the big twist. That's all. It was not a surprise, is what I'm saying. But what I'll say this, where it really does well is the tension. It's actually not the gunplay. The gunplay is kind of like, well, it's fine. It's the almost crazy paranoia when they're trying to suss out what the conflicting, who's on what side. There's a lot of money at stake here, 20 million, 20 plus million. And those scenes of tension are fantastic. So look, I recommend. The one thing that's weird, the movie ends and there's 10 minutes of credits, which turned out to be, I thought it was a longer movie, like 2 hours. It's under 2 hours. It's like an hour 40. And then there's like 10 minutes of credits. And then it goes into trailers for other Netflix stuff. Very bizarre. So don't be deceived by the longer running time. But Ben Affleck and Matt Damon are fantastic. I've always loved Stephen Yeun. That guy. I love Stephen Yeun. My favorite character from Walking Dead. When they killed the character of Glenn, I was super bummed out. Love Glenn. But man, Stephen Yeun is great. And the fact that he like turned down being in a Marvel, he was supposed to be in, he was offered
Sentry. He was Sentry.
He was, yeah. He turned that part down. Guy's smart. Hold out for something better. Stephen Yeun, really underrated actor that I think is fantastic. But so really solid actors. The tension moments are great. It's just, it's kind of by the numbers. It's not Joe Carnahan's best film, but it's good for a Netflix movie. Frankly, I would have rather have seen this in a theater. But Alan, what did you think?
I think The Rip is perfect for Netflix, and I didn't need to see it in the theater.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll agree with you. I saw The Rip last week. At least the first half. I woke up, couldn't fall asleep. I said, might as well watch The Rip, and I was actually into it. Part of the fun of this movie is once the money is discovered, and everyone is tempted, and the temptation is just that's what drama is. That's what the thriller nature of this stuff is. Would you take this money? No one's gonna know. Why not just take it? You're given an out. Look, just take the 150 and leave the rest. They all go through this whole, this is, boy, if I get underpaid and if I could just pocket some of this money, what would I do with it? If I choose to take it and no one else does, are they going to turn me in? What if one person decides that they're going to be upstanding and not take the money?
Mm.
Well, now what happens? These are all the questions that swirl in your mind as you're watching it. And because it's swirling in your mind, you're asking yourself, what would I do? That means that you're engaged in the story. And to me, that's what was happening in the first half of this movie. I was absolutely engaged, wondering what I would do. Then the ending.
Yeah.
There is a big twist. And this big twist sounds like this. Wah wah.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I felt the same way.
yeah. I'm like, yeah, you know, I'll just say it just wraps up too neatly.
Yeah,
And I was just disappointed. I was just, oh, I wish it ended differently. I'll just put it
same.
that way. And and to me, what was an exciting, engaging movie now became well, of
Yeah.
course, they had to do it this way. And then it was thoughts of course, this is a DEI Hollywood ending. Good job.
Well, I'll end with this. You know what's better than The Rip? All the interviews that Matt Damon and Ben
Yeah.
Affleck have done. The Rogan interview was
Mhm.
fantastic. The other clips we've seen where they're promoting this movie is better than the movie. And what's telling is they don't talk a lot about this movie when they do these interviews. They talk about the industry and
Mhm.
AI and production and
And compensation.
compensation and how Hollywood works. The interviews they've done for this movie are better than the movie. And they don't talk about the movie. That tells you something. But in the end, I would still recommend it as a fun watch.
Yeah.
A little just lower your expectations.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of the interview, the idea that the cast and crew will be compensated based on the success of the movie is brilliant. And then Netflix gave him this outrageous thing. Well, if your movie outpaces the number of subscribers we have, you're going to make this kind of money. And they were like, well, that could never happen. And then K-pop Demon Hunter happened.
Right. Well, just you know what? Put this movie on a loop on your TV. Just play it so they get the views. Just to help them out because I want to see them do
Yeah.
more. I want to see people who care as passionately
Mhm.
about the industry and cinema as Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, and Joe Carnahan. I want to see them make more movies. So for that reason alone, it's worth seeing The Rip.